Surviving infidelity. Updated, I'm shaken up with disbelief. I can't describe the feeling I have now as I'm still shaking. I am more in disbelief than I am angry. Me, 42 male husband, her 39, were married for 17 years. I have never ever thought she would do this to me. I really thought we had happy family that everyone envies. We have been through our financial hardship together during our earlier days. She was very supportive of my then startup and basically lived off of her little income, and I really did appreciate and thanked her for going through it with me. I swore to live my life for her. I really don't know where to start or how long this has been going on. Thinking back, the first suspicion I had was about 2 years ago when she had to drive up to San Jose, we're in Southern Cal, for a funeral for one of her friends' dad and spend a night there, then called me to spend 2 more days there while she was up there. I had no doubts then. But one thing I noted was, she didn't talk anything about her 3 nights when she was up there. She only answered when I asked her. She's usually a very talkative person and talks a lot about anything and everything. But hey, it's a funeral, so not a really good subject to talk about in detail. I passed on it. Last year, one of her friends got married and she asked to spend a night for a bachelorette party / bridal shower. We knew the bride and I knew about the upcoming wedding that we were attending. Again, not a word about the party. It's a bachelorette party, so what happens there, stays there, so I guess I was okay with her not saying much. But in the past, she has said a lot about what she did in the other bridal shower. Not the details, but at least what she ate, who was there, etc. I started making enough for her not to work, and she's a full-time housewife for about 8 years now. There were 2 instances that I know of, where she was late to pick up my child at school. Once she said she was out shopping and got caught up in traffic. She did not have anything new purchased that day, and said she didn't find anything she liked. Another time, she said she took a nap and slept in. To me, those are not acceptable. I wanted to ask my child about the times she was late for pickup, but I really didn't want to have my child involved. But I mean now. COVID-19, this is when I started being suspicious. My child has told me that she's been going out for an extended time. When I asked her about it, she would make some BS stuff up and I started doubting and became paranoid. Been about 3 weeks since my child's school started to have option of kids going back. I'd rather not have my child go back, but she insisted. She's a full-time stay-home mom, so I see no reason to hurry back to school, unless she has something else in her mind. I got paranoid and I thought of something that maybe I shouldn't have, nor should I? I used to have an app that I used to record my / and her snoring at night. I had the app running on my tablet and my intention was to catch her on a phone call. Nothing notable happened until Monday. I got more than a phone call. Don't want to go into detail, but I stopped listening to it, as I got sick to my stomach. I did not confront her about it yet. I don't know how to, and whether to use the recording as hard evidence. I really don't know how, but I will have to act quickly. Divorce is the first thing on my mind, but raising child in a divorced family is not my preference. Plus, her being a stay-home mom and me having a business, I will have to give up a lot on my financials. I don't know. Now for the top advice before the update. Lawyer up. Divorce is a train that has to get up to speed, but it can stop on a dime. If you don't want to use the recording, use your cell phone bill. It'll show the time / dates and numbers called. From there, it's pretty easy to connect the number to a name. Then you can just ask, "Hey, who is this guy you've been calling all the time?" I already looked through the phone bill, but did not find any particular numbers in the phone bill. This would be very easy to hide if they are using messaging app. Most of them aren't quite that smart. If her cell phone is on your plan, you might be able to get a location map for its travels. There's always the possibility of coming home for lunch one day, if you already know something's going on. Ring video doorbells have gotten pretty popular for catching cheaters lately too. Terrible, but a typical story. You sacrificed tremendously for her and your family. Do you really want her back? I was in your boat, took my ex-wife back, then she cheated again with someone else. The biggest mistake was going back after the first affair. Our son was 3 at the time. We co-parented after the divorce and he turned out quite well. The only downside was that I had to remain friendly toward my ex-wife for the sake of my son. I literally despise the ground she walks on. Since you want to do R, she must be totally on board with it and do what has to be done. Complete transparency, timeline, and, yes, a polygraph exam. Do not believe a word that comes out of her mouth. From your description, it sounds like she is in a defensive posture and won't do any of this. File for divorce. Tell her if she doesn't fly right, you will pursue the divorce to finality. It is up to her. R is a test of her dedication to the marriage. You have been married for a good chunk of time. She is not a youngster any longer. This behavior is reprehensible, disgusting, and has left you with a monstrous crap sandwich to eat. Unless she has an epiphany, doubtful, you are in for a very rocky, terrible ride with her. Given my experience, I would dump her butt so fast that her head would spin. But I speak from experience. Keep the recording and keep a backup of it in a safe space. Don't tell her anything. Instead, 1. Call a lawyer and schedule a meeting to get to know your options to protect yourself and your child as soon as you can. 2. Call your doctor and schedule a round of STD testing as soon as you can. 3. Do not have sex with her. Try to act normal, but don't have sex with her. Make up whatever excuses you need to make there. 4. Scan in copies of all your important documents. Bank records, investments, birth certificates, health information. You never know, I had most of that stuff vanish when things went sideways. When you confront her, which you will need to do after you talk to the lawyer and the doctor, what I would recommend is to sit her down someplace quiet without your children there, and just say I know what you've been up to. I'm not here to debate that. What I'm here to tell you is that I know, and this marriage is over. Have your phone on record as you tell her this. Tell her this even if you want to reconcile, because if you offer it at the get-go, she'll just try to sweep it under the rug and shift the blame to you. If she tries to argue that she's innocent, just walk away. Don't prove what you have. Don't tell her what you have or how you have it. Don't argue, deny, defend, or engage her. Just shrug your shoulders and walk away. If she confesses, know that she's going to only confess to the bare minimum that she thinks you know or that you'll buy. If she confesses, don't engage her. Instead, hand her a piece of paper and a pencil and tell her that she needs to write down exactly who she's been with and what she's done with them since you've been married. Do not make a decision right now. Do not confront right now. This blindside her. And also, very important, DNA test your child. It's not the first time she has done so. Edit. Thank you everyone who commented below, although I was not able to respond to every comment. It looks like my first step is to go seek legal advice. I'm in California, which is community state, so we will have to split our assets. I don't mind giving up half of the savings in our property, but I'd hate to give up my business. Also, my bigger concern is our child. It is very difficult. Until I take further actions, I will not confront her. I'm disgusted to sleep in the bed where she made love with another man. I'll just have to bear with it for now. I'm so tempted to go through her phone, but I'm really scared to see what I may see. I'll keep you posted. Now for the update. First of all, thank you everyone for all your support and useful advice and resources. Approaching 2 weeks since I caught her infidelity. The biggest decision I needed to make was whether to try to stay together and go on a divorce route. One thing that really shocked me was that I did not see any warnings to this. I always thought we had a good happy family. I decided to lean towards keeping our marriage. Or at least try to. I thought I would regret less if I divorced later after trying. This would be a very difficult burden to live with, but at least I would try. I did consult with several attorneys. Some of them had free initial consulting and some charged up front. One challenge was to find a way to make the payments as we share all of our finances, and I did not have a payment method where she would not know or find out soon enough. Some takeaway from the consultations were, California being community state, all of the assets we accumulated during our marriage should be split 50-50. We pretty much started our marriage from scratch, so that means everything we have now. However, we can make a settlement, so I can keep all of my shares in my business. Then I will have to give up most of the other assets. Also, she has been out of workforce for 8 years, so there will be spousal support regardless of whether she opts to find a work or not. She will probably not make much if she opts to work. Also, the child support. It sounded like the custody battle will be an uphill battle. The court will care about the best interest of the child, and our child is super attached to the mom since her being stay-home mom and they spent most of the time together. Also, California is a no-fault state, so infidelity goes out the window. One thing to note, the initial intake forms that attorneys require asks about my annual income. To me, that sounded like them asking me how much they can make from me. Also, they won't give me a clear answer until I hire them and pay retention fee. Their reasoning is that every case and circumstance is different, so they need more details to work with. From the resources I read through, said to gather as much evidence as possible. Maybe hire a private investigator. Maybe the long game was the right way to go. One thing I really wanted to dig into was her phone, but I had no way to get into her. I tried, but the Face ID does not work when she's asleep. It has been a long week and I could not sleep or work right, and it was too much to bear. I never ever, in my wildest dream, thought I'd divorce. I grew very anxious and out of patience. Last Friday night, I waited for her to come out of shower and told her I need to talk to her. She had no idea what was coming to her, and I asked her if she has something that I should know that she doesn't think that I know. She said no, and why I'm asking. So, I rephrased it and asked her if she has something to confess. Her face got red and she grabbed her phone and walked into the bathroom. I followed her, but she quickly went in and locked the door. I banged on the door, asked her to come out because we need to talk, but she started getting irritated and turned on the hairdryer. We kept yelling back and forth while she was drying her hair. This went on for a while, and it took me a while to realize that it's easy to unlock the bathroom door from outside. I unlocked it using a small screwdriver, and she was sitting on the toilet with her phone. I tried to grab her phone, but she held onto it tight and wasn't about to give up easily. I told her why she's doing this to me. And she's still telling me to what? I dragged her out of the bathroom and told her we need to talk. I told her to tell me everything I need to know that might jeopardize our marriage. At this time her face got really red and she said she doesn't have anything to say. I actually had another plan to press her and lead her to confess, but for some reason I went straight to the recording. And for the first time since we were together, we had some physical altercation. She jumped on me to take away the tablet. She was hysterical and I could see her using all of her force to take it away from me. I just held it away from her with one hand, and I really had no intention of keeping it away from her, and didn't really want to hear what was going on for too long. So she took it away from me fairly easily, and she slammed it on the table to break it. I told her to explain that and she said you can't do this, and stormed into the bedroom crying. I asked her who it was and how long has this been going on. She kept sobbing and did not say a word. I told her whoever he is, she can go live with him and I will start new too. And she kept saying no, and that's not how it is. It was getting late at night, I know she's not sleeping and I can't sleep, but she won't talk. It was after 2 a.m. I was finally able to make her talk. And now she's playing victim card. She said I showed no affection and love for her, and said our marriage/relationship is hollow. What? I've been working my butt off so she doesn't have to work, I've been buying her what she needs, go on a family vacation once or twice a year, I've been good to her parents. What else she wants from me? All she was saying was the things she did to me and how raising a child/full-time housewife is also his full-time job, and what I did not do to her. It left me really speechless how selfish her thoughts were. As for who this guy was, he's a friend from the area we were before we moved. She didn't say how they met. I told her if she wants to keep our marriage, I need to talk to him. But she said she will end the relationship herself. But this is a big no to me. I need to talk to him and sort things out. She said she will let me know. Also, she said it's been only recent when they started meeting. Probably BS. I asked her about the funeral and bridal shower, but she said I can check with her friends on those. But I think it would be too late to check on those now, if she already talked to her friends to lie for her. I pressed a lot of things to her but I feel like I did not get much clear responses from her. I spent the night without much sleep. Maybe I did for minutes here and there. It wasn't until that morning she apologized. She was sobbing and telling me how she's ashamed of what happened and what terrible thing she did. And how she never meant to be in that position, how she loves me and our child and we need a therapy to stay together. I can't really tell if she's being truthful or just trying to get away with it for time being. Yesterday was a difficult day for both of us. I got the AP's number and I called him, but he did not answer. I left him a short voicemail and texted him that I need to talk, and later he texted me that he thought our marriage was falling apart. I called him right after I got the text and he didn't answer. So, I asked her what she told the AP about our marriage, and if she told him our marriage is falling apart, and she says she never said that. A lot more happened than what I wrote here, but I'll stop here for now and update more later. At the end, I concluded that I wanted to try to keep our marriage if possible. But I'm hating my life now. Now for the top advice. Please accept that by wanting to continue this marriage, very negative emotion and consequences on you, not her. She has only told you lies by via trickle truthing. It's very difficult, but I'm willing to give it a try. I feel like I will have less remorse and regret later after trying, than deciding to separate now. You will be burned twice. And that's on you. Don't let someone humiliate, degrade and emasculate you twice, dude. Let's unpack this. 1. She didn't initially apologize. 2. She showed no remorse in the beginning. 3. She didn't ask for reconciliation. 4. She did not ask for forgiveness. 5. She was willing to get into a physical altercation over her AP. I know this community is full of divorce hard-ons, but you got to think clearly, my dude. Sounds like she's buying her time and thinking out her next move. She may have even done it with her AP's knowledge. She went from physically fighting you to crying and wanting to save the marriage hours later when you two were in separate rooms. Men have a tendency to get whipped and not think clearly in this situation. My advice to you if you are planning on trying to save your marriage is to do it in a manner where you are mentally, financially and emotionally prepared for divorce. Live your life for you, and if she wants to go along for the ride, then she is welcome to join you. Personally, I don't think she plans on sticking it out with you and she got something dirty up her sleeve. She actually got physical with you to protect her affair partner and their secrets. My guess is she texted him the whole time while you were separated. Do not trust her. I bet money she didn't break off anything with him and she is planning something. All my knowledge of this, and I have plenty, most remorseful spouses are all about saving the marriage immediately after getting caught. Hers was about protecting secrets, and willing to get into a fight with her husband of 17 years in order to do that. Just let that sink in before you blindly use love as an excuse to put the horse blinders on. Thank you. I agree that her first reaction was not to apologize nor show remorse but to protect her. I can't think straight now, and I'm taking everything emotionally. I do not trust her at the moment and is taking everything she says with grain of salt. On one side I felt relieved, but on the other side, the battle just started. We'll see how things go. Thanks. Dude, you should have controlled your emotions and gather evidence. Now you have nothing. For me, it would be impossible staying in the marriage. But I can understand you, because you will not see your child as much anymore. But if I would stay married, I would start dating other women. There is no reason for you to stay loyal to her. Anyway, keep us posted. At first, I thought I would play long game and dig into things more, but I just couldn't do it. Even 1 week was too long. My child was on top of my thoughts as I went through this. I wouldn't want to date someone else, just to get even with her. That won't help our relationships, but thanks. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. Turn the notification on to get updated on my latest posts. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day, everyone.